Hello from Gloucester service station. I'm not on the boat at the moment, as you can see. I've actually got the week off work because it's my birthday and I'm going to be doing various things with friends, but I'm also taking a solo trip down to Dorset for a few days. So I thought I might film some of the trip so you can kind of come along with me. I did actually used to live in Dorset for 3 years, but I haven't been back there for a very long time. While I'm down there, I'm hoping to do some of the southwest coast path, which I've wanted to do for absolutely ages. I'll explain a bit more about it later in this video. One of the reasons I want to go down to Dorset is because I haven't explored very much of it before, despite living there for 3 years. I went to university in Bournemouth, which is a town in Dorset, but I couldn't drive at the time, so I rarely ventured beyond the town. The other reason I'm going back is because I read a news article saying one of the places where I lived is due to be demolished. I'm hoping to see if it's still there and document it if I can. It's quite an unusual place to have lived in, but I won't say any more for now. You'll have to watch the rest of this video. I think it's up here. Where is it? I think I'm here now, but I need to check the email in my phone to see exactly where I need to go and how to actually get in this place. So this is the tiny little cabin that I'm going to be stopping in for the next few days. I think this up here is the bed, so you have to climb up there, and then underneath you've got a kitchen area. I think behind the kitchen area you have a bathroom. Let's take a look at that. Oh, there's a step there. So that's the shower. That's obviously the sink. I'll try and turn around. But the main reason I booked this place was for the view. There's a great big window where you can sit and look at the view. Hello! I love how inquisitive cows are. Look at that one over there looking at me. Apologies for being in my dressing gown. It's now the following morning. Hello! The plan for today is to head down to Lulworth Cove, where I'm now going to do some of the southwest coast path, if I can get my seatbelt on. The Southwest Coast Path is one of 16 national trails in England and Wales. National trails are basically long-distance footpaths, but these ones are so nice they've been given special status. The South West Coast Path is 630 miles in total, making it the longest of all of the national trails. Obviously, I'm not going to do all of that today. I'm going to do a small section as a circular walk, starting somewhere called West Lulworth. So I've just found somewhere to park. I've got my walking book, so I need to work out how to get to the start of the walk. The coastline I'm walking along today is also known as the Jurassic Coast. This is because coastal erosion has exposed rock formations from different time periods, including the Jurassic period, and loads of fossils have been found here. The bit you can see here is Lulworth Cove, and I'll show you more of this once I've walked down to it. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I film them by balancing my phone on various different things, but it does sometimes fall off. So while this was being filmed, I was climbing over a barbed wire fence to retrieve it. Anyway, off I go down to Lulworth Cove. This bit's a bit overgrown. Hope I'm going the right way. Lulworth Cove was formed about 10,000 years ago when a big river of melting ice cut a gap to the sea. The sea then flooded in and gradually eroded the cove into the horseshoe shape you can see today. Just filming this to show how busy it is. I realise I don't actually like really busy touristy places, so I'm gonna try and get to it quite a bit. The limestone arch you can see here is called Durdle Door, and it's a landmark along this stretch of coastline. It's apparently big enough for a large-sized sailing boat to pass through, but unfortunately the budget of this video didn't stretch to that. It might look familiar because it's featured in several music videos, films and TV programmes. I've just left the southwest coast path by turning off at a place called Scratchy Bottom. I used to get scared by cattle when I came across them on walks, but if you're calm, it's generally okay, I think. Sometimes they do come up to you, they're quite inquisitive a lot of the time. Hello. Oh, I always feel sorry for them when they've got flies around them like that. It's a bit sad, really. Can't be very nice. Hello again, it's now the following day and I've just left the cabin because I only booked 2 nights there. But before I head home, I'm going to go east to Bournemouth, which is the town I actually lived in when I was at university. By the way, if you can hear what sounds like screaming in the background, it's actually the geese, which are over there. So one of the reasons I want to head to Bournemouth is because I heard that the first place I ever lived in Bournemouth is due to be demolished, and I don't know if that has happened yet, but if it hasn't been demolished I want to see it before that does happen, basically. So that's where I'm heading to now.
In a quarter of a mile, slide left towards Dorset Way, A3049.
I think I'm about to go past my old university, so I might take a slight detour just to see what it's like now.
Exit the roundabout onto Wallasdown Road. In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, continue straight onto Talbot Avenue, A347.
It does feel quite strange being back here. I didn't have a car when I was at university, I couldn't even drive, but so I've never driven down here, but this is where I used to walk when I was walking home from university. I'm at Cemetery Junction now, just waiting at some traffic lights. I used to live in a flat just over there in my second year of university.
In 200 yards, at Lansdowne roundabout, take the 5th exit onto Old Christchurch Road.
Oh, I'm nearly there. Just a few minutes away from where I used to live. This is weird. Is it still here? Is it still there? It's still there. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I thought it would have been demolished by now. Oh my god.
Arrived.
Okay. Oh my god. And it looks the same as I remember as well. Okay, I'm gonna drive into the car park. Oh my god. If you're wondering why I'm driving around a multi-storey car park, it's because I used to live at the top of this multi-storey car park. This is the infamous Glenfern car park, described by Bournemouth Civic Society as the worst designed modern complex ever constructed in central Bournemouth. It does have an interesting history though. It was built in the 1960s and at one point there was a hotel at the top. Look how groovy it looks in this advert from 1973. There was also some kind of disco restaurant at the top, which was called the Outlook. You can see the name on the windows in this photo from 1983. Then at some point, I'm not sure when, the top 2 floors were converted into student accommodation, and this is where I lived. Oh, it looks like I can't get any further than this. I'm just going to park the car and see if I can walk to the top instead. So let's go up the stairs and see if we can still get to where the student halls are, where I lived in my first year. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be here. I did have a sneaky look in, but it basically looks pretty much exactly as I remember it looking before, which is strange. Now this might not look very nice from the outside, but inside the rooms were actually even worse. My room was so cold and damp that some of my clothes went mouldy, and there was actually water pouring from a leak in the ceiling for quite a while. I do still have fond memories of my time there though. Here I am in the corridor outside my room. I remember this lovely view from my window when I lived here, so I think I'm now standing underneath the room that I lived in. This is so weird. I've only recently found out that there used to be a nightclub and a music venue at the bottom of the car park in the 1970s, and loads of famous bands and artists played here. I was particularly excited to find out that Curtis Mayfield played here in 1972 because he's my favourite songwriter of all time. It seems strange to think how many famous people have walked along where I'm walking now. But anyway, now I'm going to show you a bit of the town centre and also the sea. I'd forgotten how great it feels just to feel the sea around your feet. That's the problem with living in the Midlands. It's so far from the sea, I forgot how much I love it. Just gonna go for a walk along the pier before I head back to my car.